What's up, gamers? You have TigerChainsaw. Let's go back to the late 90s where movie theaters were being packed full of people that wanted action and spy movies. You had the franchises of James Bond, Mission Impossible, and you even had silly ones like Austin Powers, but they all had spy elements, government conspiracies, and thrilling action on the screen. So it wasn't a surprise that the video game industry tried to replicate that for their video games. Well, in 1999, Syphon Filter came out on the PS1, and I've got a lot of stuff to say about that game. I had the sequel as a kid, but until a couple years ago, I had never played the original, and so today's review is going to be Syphon Filter. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, or if you just haven't yet, go ahead and hit that sub button because I've got tons of game reviews on this channel from the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, all the way up to the PS5, and you don't want to miss any of those, and it would really help my channel grow. So go ahead and hit that sub button. All right, let's go to my Syphon Filter review and see if the series gets off on a good starting point. As mentioned, the world was captivated in 1999 by spy action movies. But on the smaller screen and in video game land, developer Edic, which I think I'm pronouncing correctly, teamed up with 989 Studios and released Syphon Filter, a third-person shooter filled with terrorists, government turmoil, and stealth action for the original PlayStation. What makes Syphon Filter a memorable game? Well, grab your taser and let's shock this Syphon Filter review, starting with the plot, but be warned, spoilers are ahead. Set in 1999, the player controls Agent Gabe Logan, who is investigating biological outbreaks from international terrorists. The first mission takes place in Washington, D.C., as the terrorists are planting viral bombs across the city. Gabe teams up with his female partner Leon, and with her communicating through an earpiece, Gabe disables the bombs and tracks down a commanding terrorist named Anton. After defeating him, Gabe discovers a new lead, a man named Jonathan Fagan, who is the CEO of PharmCom, a pharmaceutical and biotech corporation. Gabe trails Fagan during a PharmCom special event and witnesses Fagan meeting with two other terrorists, one as an ex-agent. Gabe protects Fagan from an assassination attempt, killing the ex-agent and taking in a female terrorist named Mara. As it turns out, PharmCom has been teaming up with some of these terrorists, creating a virus in their labs called Syphon Filter. This terrorist organization has been led by a man named Romer, who Gabe has been tracking since the beginning of the game. Gabe then lands in Kazakhstan to destroy one of Romer's main terrorist bases. After blowing up the base, Gabe then travels to Ukraine, where secret lab tests are being administered to the prisoners and patients. Leon has been captured and is being held captive inside one of the jail cells. Gabe rescues Leon and runs into Fagan, who has also been captured by Romer. Fagan is assassinated by Mara, but before that, he strikes a deal with Gabe, informing him that Romer plans to launch a missile at a secret base. Gabe reaches the secret missile base and discovers that his boss, Thomas Markison, has been working with Romer all along. Romer then kills Markison in front of Gabe and starts the launch of the missile. Gabe rushes to shut the missile off and confronts Romer in a computer lab, eventually killing him. After the credits roll, Mara is seen talking to an unidentified man in front of PharmCom boxes. He tells her that she did good and that the plan is still in place. Do you guys remember playing PS1 games back in the day? The controls were stiff, hard to control, and unreliable when running with a character. Syphon Filter is the complete opposite. Gabe runs very smooth and turns in all of the directions. You don't have to stop to make Gabe turn. You can continue running and he'll start moving in the direction that you want in a smooth motion. It sounds simple, but after playing some bad games with character controls, Gabe's running physics were great. It made me completing my Syphon Filter playthrough so much easier with smooth controls. Each mission will have a few different objectives like killing a certain target, disarming or planting bombs, and making your way to a section on the map. You'll receive helpful checkpoints during the mission in case you die, which will happen. I rarely died from enemy fire, but I did die a few times from falling off ledges or shafts. I didn't look before I jumped. Whoops. Syphon Filter goes into great detail with its weapons. You can take a look at each weapon and it will describe in depth the history of that weapon and why the agency uses it. It's useless knowledge, but I thought it was really cool. Speaking of weapons, you'll get a lot of them. From silenced pistols to machine guns, shotguns, grenades, and my all-time favorite weapon, maybe in all of video games, the legendary air taser. This taser is hilarious to kill enemies with. The range on it is almost endless, and you'll be able to shoot the wire into the enemies from just about anywhere on the screen. Once the wire hooks into the target, it starts to electrocute them. Their bodies will shake and spark while you hold down the button. Keep the button held down long enough, and their bodies will catch on fire as they scream in agony and burn to a crisp. It sounds like an awful death, but it's actually really hilarious. As long as the enemies were not wearing a flak jacket, I used the taser on them. Another great element to the gameplay was the auto aim feature. Holding R1 will auto lock onto an enemy. You'll be able to run around with Gabe's gun pointed at this enemy. It's unrealistic, but in the game, it was quite useful. Combat is both fun and strategic in Syphon Filter. You'll have firefights with 2 or 3 terrorists, but you'll also sneak around, putting silenced bullets into the back of their heads. The environment is also yours to use. Shooting barrels will cause explosions, or much to my delight, in the labs you can shoot vials of liquids and cause them to spew poisonous gas that takes down the scientists. Missions are not just run and gun. You'll have to carefully maneuver past enemies and solve small puzzles. One mission has you searching buildings for infected bodies and boxes with an X-ray sensor, which goes to show you the variety of gameplay. Syphon Filter's gameplay was great, but it does have a weakness. The cutscenes are cringeworthy if you can even make out what the dialogue is. The characters talk very fast, and sometimes it results in very serious situations coming off as humorous. In particular, there is this bomb that is about to detonate, and Gabe is telling Leon it's too late as he dives away from it. He is speaking way too fast, and the result is comical.
Leon, this one's different from the others. It has a shorter timer, and it looks...
Gabe, that's not viral. It's
too late.
My gameplay style is more on the slower side. I completed Syphon Filter within 15 hours. You can probably do it in 10 if you know exactly what you're doing, and probably a lot shorter if you've already played the game. But the bottom line is that Syphon Filter is one of the best stealth action shooters on the PlayStation. It's not quite Metal Gear Solid, but it's not too far behind. One of the top games in the original PlayStation library. I highly recommend that you play Syphon Filter if you're a fan of stealth action. There's plenty of guns, lots of missions, and different types of objectives to keep you busy. The controls are great, Gabe runs smooth, the auto aim is a great feature, and most of all, that air taser is probably the greatest weapon in video games. Syphon Filter scores a 9 out of 10, making this a PS1 masterpiece. Gamers, that was my review of the original Syphon Filter on the PlayStation from 1999. What do you guys think? Do we need an HD remake or maybe a whole new game in the Syphon Filter franchise? I personally would love that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on your nostalgia, your memories of Syphon Filter. And while you're typing away, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because guess what? I'm gonna be reviewing more Syphon Filter games in the very near future, including my childhood copy of Syphon Filter 2, which, spoilers, I love. All right, gamers, I appreciate you watching, and make sure you play a video game today.